Hello students, Mr. Bastias here. Welcome to Unit 5, Week 2, Day 2. Make sure you have your meaning mapper, article a day, your book of knowledge, and paper and pencil to write with. Today we will learn about animals called invertebrates. Let's get started. First, I want you to go back to your book of knowledge and review what you learned about vertebrate animals. Share 3 characteristics of vertebrate animals. Take a moment to do this now. Now, I'm going to share the 3 characteristics that I wrote. First characteristic of vertebrate animals is they have a backbone. Remember, vertebrates have a backbone, just like humans do. The second characteristic of vertebrate animals is that they have spinal cords. Our spinal cords are a bundle of nerves that send signals to our brains. Third is that they have bones. All vertebrates have bones. Now I want you to think of our focus word characteristic. Look at each word and decide, is this a good example of the word characteristic or not? Let's do it together. Usual. When something is usual or common, is this a good example of the word characteristic? No, it's not. Characteristics are what sets people, things, or animals apart. How about special? Yes, when something is special, it is unique. How about similar? Similar is not a good example of the word characteristic because when things are similar, they are not unique and you cannot tell them apart. How about common? Correct again. Common is not a good example of the word characteristic because it is kind of like similar and usual. How about unique? Yes, unique is a great example of the word characteristic. We even added it to our meaning mapper. How about individual? Individual is a good example of the word characteristic because characteristics are what set individuals apart. Let's start with our article a day. Vertebrates or invertebrate? And this is actually a continuation from our last article a day. What do you see in the picture? I see that the animals are grouped. On the left, we have vertebrates, and on the right, we have invertebrates. Let's read our article a day to learn more about invertebrates. But there are many more animals that do not have a backbone. Animals without a backbone are called invertebrates. Insects are the largest group in the animal kingdom. Insects are also the largest group of invertebrates. Insects include flies, wasps, beetles, cockroaches, ladybugs, and butterflies. Other kinds of invertebrates include earthworms and spiders. And let's read the caption. These animals are invertebrates that do not have a backbone. That's a characteristic that all invertebrates share in common, is that they do not have a backbone. Some interesting invertebrates live in the sea. Lobster, shrimp, and crabs do not have a backbone. The giant octopus is an invertebrate as well. Look, here we have shrimp, lobster, crab, and a giant octopus. They're all invertebrates. Have you ever seen a jellyfish or a starfish? Here we have a starfish. Here we have a jellyfish. They are also invertebrates. So these animals do not have a backbone or a spinal cord. And the caption here says, these invertebrates live in the saltwater environment of the sea. So invertebrates can live in land and in the ocean. Please take out your book of knowledge. I want you to write down 2 or 3 things you learned from the article and would like to remember. Pause the video and take a moment to do this now. I'm going to go back to my article a day so I can find evidence that I can write down in my book of knowledge. The first thing I learned is that insects are the largest group of invertebrates. I'm going to write that down. Insects are the largest group of invertebrates. I also learned that invertebrates can live in the ocean, such as jellyfish and starfish. I also learned that invertebrates live in the ocean. Jellyfish, starfish, both invertebrates. This makes me think of snails. I love snails, and they are also invertebrates because they do not have a backbone. This makes me think of snails because they are invertebrates. Please take out your meaning mapper. In the middle of our meaning mapper, we have our focus word characteristic, which is something that makes a person, animal, or thing different from others. We've already added unique and group to our meaning mapper. But what else could you add to your meaning mapper that relates to the focus word characteristic? I added the word individual because characteristics set individuals apart. And that's it for me, students. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.